Ladies and gentlemen, we made it to the first double-digit Mindful Monday. Here it is, episode 10 of our weekly analysis series. And I want to take the time and ask you to head over to the community section, as there will be a post asking for your replay. All you do is search up your code, send it in, a short description, what is happening, what I should be focusing on, and we have a deal for the next Mindful Monday. And there will always be something to learn from your game. Pretty much. And yeah, Wulpex did exactly this. He played the Splatana WIPER, tested it out, and this is one of the first rounds that he had. And we're going to take a look at it. And we're going to be focusing on the overall general attempt with the weapon rather than the mechanics, because it's just natural to have some struggles with this if you're just new to the weapon. And it's a new weapon class that was introduced in Splatoon 3, and it has a very special role with how it's played. It's an aggro weapon, but with the range that it has and the paint and the kit, it's disruptive, kind of. And we see it here, very aggressive, gets the kills or even supports, pushing up far into enemy territory. They get the first push down. We're once again in Climblets, I'm just now noticing, but that won't be our focus for this time. Here again, helping with the kill, staying aggressive here. He has summer clams, but he won't get them in. But he steals a lot of time, so his mate on the other side will be able to toss in a few more clams. First push down to 45, and that's only in the first minute of the game. So we saw the first possible playstyle. Like, you want to be very aggressive with it, but you still have to watch out what you're doing with this, especially here in an open field against a bamboo. We see Wulpex struggling a bit. He repositions himself, and now he's a bit too greedy for the kill and gets punished for this, but they also were looking at him, so his teammates could finish the rest off. We see there 4v1 situation, the rest is just respawning. They have a lot of clams to their hands, and they're now able to prepare another push slowly. We see Wulpex here painting for the next stand, slowly setting up. Playing with your entire kit is very important here to be as annoying as possible. Beautiful turn here, finds the shot in the back, stays behind. He has a clam, but he's rather focused on the opponent right here. And now he's in a dangerous position, finds the shot here, and he's going to stay there, setting up and completely annoying him. You see this, the torpedoes flying and flying. He drops down for the kill and finds the shot yet again in the spawn and returns to his position. And this is totally fine. As long as he is there, the opponents have a hard time getting back into the game. He's now looking for the respawn again and finds it again a third time. This poor shot, this is bullying. He sets up. This is the perfect moment to strike. Finds the first pick, bamboo trade. It's okay, his team is able to follow up. They get another big clam in, down to low 10 and even below. Yeah, the booyah there. Successful push. Of course, it took a lot of time, and he wasn't contributing to the objective push by only that mean, but his positioning over there, just causing one player to be completely out of the defense, helped a lot. Like, this was a good offensive setup, and those are the things that you want to do with this weapon. Just be annoying. It's sort of like a Tetra, but yeah, not that going in and kill focused. You just position yourself and then be annoying from that point on. You also have a lot of range to work with, and especially this kit. You can throw torpedoes, you can charge and hammer and throw it at the opponents, and you see it there. What the torpedoes do, they have to look at them. They either shoot or dodge them, and in any way. A little disrespectful here, but stem throw. That causes the enemies to sort of lose their focus for a second. Like they either waste, like sort of waste a shot on the torpedo, or they choose to ignore it, but then have to deal with the pain that is coming down, the chip damage that comes to the players, and those are all problems that they then need to further deal with. Good trade here, and you can just keep on doing exactly this, and eventually he'll come out on top. And he just has to look out for his position and then slowly but steadily hold forward with this. Last 30 seconds here of the game. It is only one big lamb that they would need to finish the game. See it here, set up on top. Gets kind of trapped there, but manages to stay alive and get out again. Back against the bamboo, finds the kill even. Setting up, stamped, probably thrown. Spectator mode kind of lagged out there. But they have the big lamb and they will score right here, finishing the game. And there is one specific scene that I want to take a closer look at right now. The sequence that I want to rewind is the moment that Wulpex takes this aggressive position right here. This is when they score. They're at 45 and get their penalty down a bit. And two of his mates are down and he decides to go in. And yeah, this is a solo queue thing. Like, he's playing ranked in here. And those are the things that you often need to do in solo to kind of go out of your usual way of playing and attempt to play to the point where you're the one to completely set up your teammates, because oftentimes they aren't able to do this on their own. So he knows what he's doing. He's a 27 XP player and he has the experience to take this kind of aggressive position, and you see that here. He's confident, goes for the pick, and then sees the other three players down there and decides to annoy them. He throws the torpedoes, he stays there, he looks for the kill when there is a chance, but then backs out once it gets too dangerous here. Kind of tricky kill on this, almost dying here, but he knows how to play this. Kind of backs up, uses the range that he has on the Splatana, and gets on the high ground again. He stays there, he sets up, he's looking for the shot one more time. He sees his team is slowly building up, they're coming back, they're also using their specials. He can go for another close kill, and this time he uses this. He knows this player is down and won't be back into the game for the next 8 to 10 seconds. And this is the moment. They have the big clam. He has the chance. All players are trapped down there. He sets them up, goes for the trade perfectly fine. And from that on, they reach the score of low 10 and even below 10, I believe, down to 7. Yeah. So perfectly set up. It took some time to get to the point where they can score those additional around 40 points, was it, I believe. And I wanted to show this to you one more time on the map for a better perspective. So this is what we've just seen, the hyper offense that Wulpex pulled off completely all by himself. And why this worked out so well is his positioning right here. Those are kind of roofs and they're in a high ground position. So all this right here is below him, except this of course, but he can easily reach that and block this by just looking there, throwing his torpedoes. And if players go there, which we saw with the shot, he has a good position to deal with them. And as we also saw, he did exactly this. He blocks important spots for the opponents to kind of deal with them, and he utilized his matchup as well. Like, it wasn't the bamboo, otherwise he would be forced to back down, but with the shot that has a lower range, he is completely safe to stay here and fight for his position. Because what he does with this, he blocks this area. This top left area is the point from where you want to defend, as mentioned before. This is in the high ground. From here you can easily deal with all the opponents that are trying to get to your basket and get their clams in. You can from there on block them out. But if this spot is taken already, all they can do is go down here if they don't want to fight them or can't fight them by just matchup wise, and this leaves them in this position down here. They're crumbled down here in a small tiny area that is easily to deal with, as you have high ground here, you have high ground from the bridge, you even have high ground from their own plat. And we saw exactly this. The player came here, the rest of the team, 3 players come here as the main force, as the main push. They get their specials in, they come with clans, and they can all collapse onto the opponents in this tiny area, and they can't do anything. They have to fight them, because if they back out, it's just a knockout push. So this position here enabled the team to get a huge push and also secure a lot of kills, which helped them over the long run over the game. We saw they had a score of 7 at the end, while the opponents, they never made it out of their spawn pretty much. The furthest they got was to the middle, so their score was still at 100 as 2 minutes were left, so they could play it very safe, very slow here and come back from that. And this was a so far lockout position that was just perfectly executed. Of course, the fights against the shot were close at times, but he managed to deal with this pretty well, seeing what he had to do, like go back and use the max range that you have with the Viper and outplay the shot down there, the one shot on the corner right here. And then the moment he saw the chance for his team to finally come in, he supported the main push. They came back together with a 4-player coordinated push onto the basket, onto the opponents, and completely overrun them. This brings us to today's lesson. First off, the weapon matchups. In this case, we've seen especially the duel between Splatana, WIPER, and a regular Splatashot, and especially learn or try to understand the most common weapon matchups of your own weapon. Of course, at some point, especially in competitive, you have to be prepared to know all the weapon matchups, so you have an idea how to react and adapt to pretty much all opponents you're going up against. But if you're just playing solo queue or just opens with your friends at times, keep having an idea of how to play against charger in general, shots in general, and splatling types, just the core main weapons. You're totally fine. Which counts into this is the range, the damage output, and the painting capabilities of both your weapons. And in this case, we've seen, especially on an open field against a longer range weapon that has a short kill time, the Splatana Viper really struggles. Like the bamboo, they just need to hit one shot, and with some help, a burst bomb stepping in ink before, it can be enough for the bamboo to just take you out. And even the 2 shots, if on full health, they're fast. A bamboo just needs one fully charged and then 1 tap shot and you're out. And this comes to the second point. This goes hand in hand, your positioning. If you have a bad matchup, try to correct it or balance it out by finding spots on the map where you can kind of engage towards your opponent but still stay safe and have opportunities to back out. Wulpex perfectly shot this on the top left. He has the high ground and he has good chances to deal with most of the weapons by staying there, and if he was pushed, he could just back out, drop down, and be safe, especially if the bamboo decided to go for him. And then to round everything up, the playstyle. Find an idea what you want to do with your weapon in the under the aspect of what your weapon is supposed to do. And Wulpex naturally is a very aggressive player, and the Splatana Viper perfectly helps him with that, and the other way around. He went in, he looked for many kills, not only for himself, but we see him do a lot of assists. He helps in fights, he throws the torpedoes to disrupt and kind of distract the opponents, so they have 2 maybe even 3 sort of spots they have to track and they have to keep an eye on. And he tried to double team a lot with his mates to help them in fight. And then he set them up, stayed very, very aggressive there. And he went in, looked for the kills when his mates were more focused on the objective part. So he found his way to deal and build up upon what the weapon is used for. Of course, the Splatana WIPER is one of the new weapon classes. We've only been with it for around 4 months, and we still have to find the way to perfectly play it. And maybe you know someone that is really, really cracked on the weapon and has mained it since release, then I'd be happy if you could share them, name me them, call me their name, whatever. I'd be interested in what really correct Splatana, Stamper, or WIPER, it doesn't matter, players look like, what their game attempt is. It would be really, really interesting to know that. And yeah, there's much more to come. With that, I thank you for watching. As always, like and subscribe, ring the notification bell to not miss out, and once again, send in your replay codes. Much appreciated. And now, enjoy the rest of the day. We'll see each other in another video. Bye bye.